What is up, everyone, and thank you for checking out my new and updated review of the Rep Fitness FT-3000, the functional trainer that's built specifically for residential home gym, garage gym type use. I did do an initial impressions video when I first assembled this piece a couple months back, so you can go check that out. Hopefully it works out. Right in the card here. And that video kind of gave a bird's eye view of assembling this piece, some of the uses that I get out of it, and it had some great dad humor as well, featuring my own dad. So go check that out. But now that I've been using this piece of equipment for about 5 months, I figured I'd give an updated review, a little bit more in depth about my thoughts. But if this is your first time on my YouTube page, I really appreciate you for checking me out. My name is David Martin. I'm a personal trainer and online coach out here in Champaign County, Ohio. So check me out if you're local. Come through and get a workout in. Or if you're interested in working with me through my online coaching, feel free to check out my website and reserve a time to talk. And now that we have all that fun stuff out of the way, let's get into the review. First thing I want to cover is, why did I decide to buy a functional trainer? Obviously, you know, once you get your basics, your squat rack, your barbell, your bench, there's a lot more to be desired in a home gym. And really, this fit the bill perfectly for me. The cable system, the cable crossover, functional trainer, whatever you want to call it, it adds so many capabilities to your home gym that I knew that was next on my purchase list. And then the next question becomes, why Rep Fitness? Well, Rep is based out of Denver, Colorado, and I would say they're a pretty close competitor to Rogue. The major difference between the two companies being that Rep does actually import their products from overseas. You know, I mentioned in my last video, I prefer to buy things made in the US because oftentimes the quality is better. However, I think Rep makes the best products when they are imported from overseas. And as we'll touch on later in the video, this thing is really made well. Other basic details, this functional trainer basically costs right around $2,000 and shipping is free, at least at the time of this video. So that's a very hard deal to pass up for the quality that you're getting, and it made it an obvious choice for me to buy. Into the functionality of this functional trainer, it's super versatile. I guess the name implies. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen me doing all kinds of movements. This thing has been a staple for the gym. I'm really big on doing cable bicep curls, face pulls, tricep extensions. Even before I got that lat pull down low row combo, I was doing rows on this thing. So it is extremely versatile. And then you also have to consider the fact that it comes with a very nice multi-grip pull-up bar. So you can do pull-ups on it if you don't have another place to do those. And overall, it just adds a ton more options to what you can do in a home gym setting. Getting into the specifics, right from their website, they list the FT-3000 as being 78 inches high by 53 inches wide and having a depth of 34 inches. So maybe you're working around a tight space in a basement or a tight space in your garage. This thing, you know, it's not really big. It doesn't have a huge footprint, and I think it works really well. Their alternative is the FT-5000, which is quite a bit bigger, a little bit beefier, and that's more, you know, used in a commercial gym space. You could put it in a home gym if you have space, but just because the price and the overall footprint, I think this thing really does fit my needs well. The maximum effective load of these plates goes all the way up to 90, and they do have adder weights as well to do those small increments. But the increments, I actually didn't look at this, they generally go in 4 to 5 pounds per plate. One of the questions that I got in the last video is, how high are the cables? And I measured from the ground all the way up to the highest setting, and that is 62 inches. And the cable length goes all the way out to 81 inches. So once again, extremely versatile. You can do a ton of different things on this piece of equipment. I also find it pretty cool that they have a residential use warranty of 10 years on the hardware, which is the pop pins, pulleys, and the cables. And if it's being used commercially, they do have a 1-year warranty as well. So just a nice touch. You know, 10 years, that's a very long time. And if anything goes wrong, they're gonna take care of you, which I think is just a great sign of customer appreciation. I I wanted to get into a few frequently asked questions, stuff that I got a lot in the comment section, and this might play into other parts of the video as well. But the most commonly asked question I got from that video, and that you might have seen from the clips I overlaid, are, does this machine wobble? And if you look at my setup, it slightly wobbles, but that is only because in my garage gym setup, the floor is not 100% level. So what I essentially had to do is put a lot of shims, a sheet of plywood, and a stall mat here on the ground to make it as level as possible. However, when you are doing the movements, the machine doesn't wobble. So it's completely safe, completely good to go. You know, some people do have to work around an uneven or unlevel surface in their setup at home, but I don't think that that's gonna be any major issue for you. It is not designed to wobble, once again. Also, another question that I got in that first video is, you know, it looks like your cables were kind of like crossed and intertwined. But if you take a deeper look, actually this goes for any gym machine. You know, the cables don't actually rub, so that's not an issue either. The third question I frequently get is, you know, you kind of look like a taller guy, how does that work? So as I mentioned, you know, the top cable position is at 62 inches. So unfortunately, certain movements like tricep cable extensions with my prime attachment don't work great with this piece of equipment. You know, I go over to the lat pull down and I attach it there if I'm gonna do tricep extensions with that attachment. For taller people, I think really any rope attachment might be a little awkward. But at the end of the day, you can either take steps back or you could do them seated, do them kneeling. Really, tricep cable extensions is the only movement that I find the height of this machine kind of conflicts. But overall, it's a very minor gripe for the product that you're getting. Now let's get into the pros of the FT-3000. First and foremost, the price. I think it is a pro. Coming in around $2,000, it's very affordable and a good deal for the quality and functionality that this offers to your home gym. Like I said, you can do so many things for this piece of equipment, and you also have to understand that you're buying a quality piece of equipment that you're gonna get years and years of use out of. So definitely invest in something good rather than the cheapest options out there. Once again, you know, we talk about brands like Titan. The cheaper you buy, the more of a risk you take that the piece of equipment isn't gonna be quality. So just keep that in mind. And on that note, I feel like when I'm using this, it's just as high quality as something you'd find at a commercial gym. You know, I noticed no big differences between that. The cables are super smooth. The pin works just as good as any top end commercial. You know, maybe I shouldn't say, I've used some very nice functional trainers in the past, you know, those upper premium brands. You can tell minor differences, but overall, for a home gym, this thing is solid. Getting into the cons, there are just a couple that I wanna mention. And one thing that's inevitable that you'll have to face is cabling. The cabling was a process. However, it's something that I was interested in learning how to do. It's not something that I love doing. However, Rep did make a video on YouTube that takes you through step by step how to cable this thing correctly. It's a process. It's gonna be a learning experience. You're gonna have to put some time into it, but just be prepared. You know, it's one of those inevitable things of being a home gym owner. Not my favorite thing to do, but not the end of the world. And once again, the biggest con, and the only reason I wouldn't recommend this is if someone were probably much taller than me. I would say if you're 6'4", 6'5", and up, I wouldn't actually go with the FT-3000 just because certain things aren't gonna work well with your height. For example, the pull-up bars, I prefer a higher up pull-up bar. I use the pull-up bar on my squat rack when I do pull-ups. Sometimes people that are super tall don't enjoy low height pull-up bars. And then also, once again, with the example like the tricep extension, I just imagine other things could arise that when you're that tall, this smaller piece of equipment might not be best for you. Other than that though, guys, I really don't think there are many other cons to offer. I think it's a very solid piece of equipment. So let's get into my overall consensus and recommendation for this piece of equipment. As you've been watching, you know that I'm speaking pretty highly of the Rep FT-3000. I would say if you're on the verge of buying it or not, just pull the trigger. It's gonna add so many capabilities to your gym. I don't regret buying this one bit. It's every bit worth the price, and it's been a great piece of equipment to have, you know, especially if you have multiple people using your gym. Maybe you have someone working on a barbell, you can have someone working on the cables. If you train for hypertrophy, I would say it's great for you. Really, it's so versatile for so many goals. It's a great piece of equipment to have. To me, it's a staple because it's so versatile for so many people's goals. Well guys, this one is a little bit more short and sweet. I really do appreciate you checking out this video about the Rep Functional Trainer. Thanks again for watching. If you'd like to see my video about the Elite FTS lat pull down low row combination, you can go ahead and click right here. I'm gonna be continuing this review saga. So if you wanna see my other videos and you're watching this a little bit down the road from when it's being filmed, you can check out the entire playlist, which will be linked up in the cards as well. Once again, thank you for showing interest. If you'd like, I also have several workout vlogs where you'll get to see me in action. You'll get to see a little bit of humor, see my personality shining through as we train here in the home gym and other gyms that I travel to. And I also host a podcast called The Trainer Scoop, where I have a ton of knowledgeable guests on talking about training, nutrition, business, all those good things. So you can check that playlist out as well. If you have any questions, please drop them down below. I'm always down to talk and help people out in any way that I can when it comes to putting together your dream home gym. And then of course guys, if you are interested in working with me in person or online, feel free to reach out, whether it be through my website, through an Instagram DM, or even a comment below. I'm always here to help and talk. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you learned something, I'd really appreciate it if you liked the video, share it around with any of your friends that are home gym buffs. And then if you want to see more videos just like this where I review the equipment I have here in the gym, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to stay up to date, ring that notification bell as well. Share the video around. I'm trying to grow this channel and get more quality fitness information out there, and it really helps when you guys support. Thank you so much again. I'll catch you in the next video. Or if you're interested in working with me, or if you're interested with working me